And now, GroupCollect presents GroupCollect, the podcast. All right, everybody, and welcome. This is GroupCollect, the podcast. My name is Eric Young, and I am one of your hosts today. I am also joined by my co-hosts here, who I would love for them to introduce themselves. Kathleen, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Thanks, Eric. My name is Kathleen Lyles. I am the account manager here at GroupCollect.
And my name is Ryan Kramer, and I am a business integration specialist sitting on the product team here at GroupCollect.
Awesome. Thank you both. I didn't say what my title is, but I'm the brand development manager. You've probably seen me in the emails and videos that you get monthly from us here at GroupCollect. So Ryan and Kathleen, we decided to start a podcast. I wanted to ask you both briefly, what excites you the most about talking to the users of GroupCollect products about the things that are going on with our organization through the medium of a podcast? Ryan, why don't we start with you first?
Sure thing, Eric. Well, I've been a member of the GroupCollect team only since this past August, but I've been a fan of the brand for a very long time, having a background in the group travel space. So it's a product that for years now I've just been excited about and really believe in. And it's a team that I'm so proud to be a part of, and just having the opportunity to, have these words jump off the page and into your ears, as it were, and just kind of share this love of the team and the product is very exciting to me.
Agreed. So Kathleen, what would you say excites you the most about being able to talk to GroupCollect product users through this medium of podcasting?
I am super excited to have our users hear what our updates are. Not everybody is good at looking at a page and reading the updates. They would prefer to hear it. So I'm excited to expand our way to communicate with you guys, to share an audible version of that. And just another opportunity to have you guys hear from us in a different way.
It's true. It's enough with all the reading already, right?
Likes to read.
Yeah, nah. So I myself really like listening to podcasts. I found that I think I'm in my podcast era as an individual where, I would say probably 50% of the time when I would have been listening to music, I like to just listen to spoken word now. So if you happen to be one of those people and you also happen to be a GroupCollect product user, then I would say this is the show for you. Less reading of emails, and equal, or let's dare I say, even more of an understanding of what's going on with the products that are going to affect you and your business on a day-to-day basis. And guess what? We all get to create this wonderful piece of media without anyone needing to see our faces. So that's pretty nice, right? We get to just be wearing whatever the heck we want to.
Don't give away our secrets.
Right. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into our first topic. And what we really wanted to do is we wanted each episode of this podcast to sort of mirror what you are going to be seeing in the monthly emails anyway. So in a sense, it's almost kind of like listening to the email. So you'll notice that our first topic of the day was that legal names are now required while registering in GroupCollect Register. So Kathleen, would you like to talk a little bit more about what we mean by that?
So we found that in creating an account holder profile, people would often put their nickname or not a legal name. And when they would get to the part where it's asked for a signature from the account holder, that page does ask for a legal name. And people were often then entering their legal name there, getting stuck, finding that it doesn't match because when they created the account, they put Janie Walker and their real name is Janine Walker. So we are hoping that that clears up the miscommunication on that page, allowing them to continue on in the registration process. The second piece of this is we found in the issue of disputes that we often capture the account holder's name and what their legal name is at the bank didn't match what we showed as the account holder name as the
Mm.
person who signed off on that. So the bank would often kick that back, saying, no, that's not the name of the person who was filing this dispute.
So it's important for people using Group Collect Register to be aware of this, number one, if I'm understanding correct, so that they know what their passengers are going to be asked in one of those very first screens while registering for one of their trips. And number two, so that users of the platform are better prepared if in the event of a dispute. Is all of that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Very cool. And Ryan, also a product update extraordinaire. I wanted to ask if you had anything that you wanted to add as far as this development goes.
Well, sure thing. I think, as usual, Kaplan has captured it perfectly here. But just to give a little insight into what's going on technically, as you said, I'm a product update person. I'm not one of the brilliant people who's actually in there writing the zeros and ones, but the brilliant people who are in there um, have ostensibly set this up so that there's a validation going on here. They're making sure that where we're asking for that electronic signature, that what's being inputted there matches the information that we're putting on earlier in the registration flow. So we've made some updates involving both our engineering team as well as some consultation from our designer to make sure that we have copy in there that clearly indicates that earlier in the registration process, we need to enter the full legal name so that when that magical validation happens at the end there, where the system is checking for a match, that match happens, and there is no hindrance to getting you signed up for your exciting tour that you have forthcoming.
Absolutely. And you know, true as all of that may be, one of the things that really stuck out as you were saying that was shout out to the dev team, right?
Oh
The
my
Group Collect
gosh. Yeah.
Register dev team. We don't say it enough. We need to say it more.
Yes, we love our
Right.
dev team.
And then, you know, we should, as we end every section of the email with the email address that you can reach out to if you have any questions about this development. What is that email, Kathleen?
That email is going to be help@groupcollect.com.
It's that simple. We're going to take a quick break and we will be back talking about an exciting new Group Collect Register changelog. All right, everyone, and welcome back. So we are staying within the platform of Group Collect Register, and we wanted to talk about a new and, in my opinion, incredibly exciting way to keep everybody aware of changes that are being made within the system. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, Eric, it's a little redundant at this point, right? We've got the monthly email and video. Now we've got a podcast that we're actively recording right now at this minute. What else could we possibly do? To which I reply, listen, that is the name of the game for us on this side of the Group Collect Registered team is we want to make it as easy and apparent for anybody using the platform to know what has changed. And also, I think that the main point of what we're about to talk about is a place that you can go to reference changes that have happened in perpetuity, an ongoing reservoir of information. So with that, I want to talk about our forthcoming Group Collect Register changelog. And the person who is spearheading that project is none other than my co-host, Ryan Kramer. So Ryan, walk us through what's the concept of the changelog and what can users expect to see in the next couple of months?
Awesome, Eric. I am really, really excited about this new channel of communication that we are opening up for our family of clients here, our family of Group Collect users. So, as Eric alluded to, we've got our monthly emails that are, I've got to say, Eric, I think they're incredibly creative and incredibly fun and kind of give you this zippy highlight reel of everything to be excited about and everything that's changing in the Group Collect register interface as
Please,
well
please go on. Please go on.
as.
No, thank you. Thank you. I
No,
appreciate
of course, of course. Well, what this is meant to solve here is that we need a place where we can just park the bare facts. And especially as Group Collect Register gets more mature and it has more features there to help you more so than ever, we want our users to have the ability to reference what is changing and when, and be notified in a timely fashion when changes are being made. I can speak personally, given my background, to how much like dealing with a familiar interface on your day-to-day life is so important, and how we can get very, particular about changes, and how we can get notice little subtle shifts here that might leave you thinking, wait, am I going nuts here? Was something over there the other day? This is going to be where you can go and check and see that these changes are intentional. It will provide some color as to why these changes are made. And this will capture everything from small copy changes, just difference in wording that you might see, and give our explanation as to why, up to much larger projects that more fundamentally enhance the system. So, with all that being said, there are going to be a couple of options for how you can access this change log. It is going to be living on our Group Collect website, groupcollect.com. I'll caveat right here that as of recording, we're still kind of in these terminal stages of ironing out the details of this, but there will be a location on our website that hosts the change log ongoing. There will be an option, again, details forthcoming, but there will be an option to subscribe as well and be notified via email whenever there is a new entry to the change log. One other thing, just, we're a very transparent company here. We're still in these last phases of figuring out exactly how this will work, but something we do know is that the change log will be updated in batches every other week. There's going to be a designated day of the week. And as soon as we have made final decisions on what that's going to be, you will hear that information from us. I'm going to be the one writing the change log, and I'm really excited and grateful for the opportunity to directly communicate with you awesome listeners and just the awesome users of the system.
Absolutely. And I think that the change log is really the solution to that very relatable situation of, hey, didn't there used to be a button here? Right? Like that's something I think that, as you mentioned, when you are using a platform every day for work, then you can really be very sensitive to those things. So if you ever find yourself in that situation, you're going to have a place to go on groupcollect.com to reference the changelog. Now, Kathleen, from the account management standpoint, what excites you about the possibilities of this Group Collect registered changelog coming out every other week?
I think the biggest thing I'm most excited about is it's just another form of communication that you can have between us. Communication, I feel like, is the theme of our year this year. So you're going to be hearing that a lot from us, and everybody communicates differently. So if the way you want your communication to be just a standard, here are the updates, plain and simple, that's it, then this is the route for you. It's just something that I really think is going to be helpful, especially in those busier times. Like you said, Eric, if you're like, wait a minute, is something different? You can
Right.
quickly pull up the changelog, say, oh, yep, I see that was updated. Perfect. And then continue on throughout your day. You don't need to stop, text us, email us, reach out, wait for our next newsletter. It's just a quick and easy way for you to get the confirmation that, yes, you are not losing it, at least not on our system. You might be losing it in other
I was gonna
regards.
say, speak for yourself, Kathleen.
Yeah. Disclaimer,
Uh,
you might still be losing it on some level. Maybe look into that. But we would like to give you assurance within the Group Collect Register platform. You're right on course.
yes, exactly.
Thank you both for those insights. What I would like to add is If you are somebody that kind of looks to the monthly email that typically comes from me and the video that accompanies it for these kind of changes, you might be wondering, well, then what's the point of that anymore? To which I would say, I think that by having the change log, which, as Ryan mentioned, is going to be a very bare bones laying out of the facts of what has changed every 2 weeks within the system, it opens up the opportunity for those monthly emails and videos, which will continue to talk about broader topics. For instance, if we are having any sort of live Zoom events, if we're going to be attending conferences, things that we can get excited about within the product, but that are forthcoming. Again, to the point that the changelog is going to talk about changes that have actually occurred. So I think that that gives the monthly communication, email, and video just a lot broader of a range of things that it can inform all of our users about. So for those reasons, I am very excited. With that, we will take one more short break and talk about our final topic, which is a live Zoom event that is going to be happening in February. So stick around. All right, and welcome back. Our final topic of the day, we wanted to talk about something we were alluding to in the previous segment, which is our very first live GroupCollect Zoom event of the year. Uh,
Woohoo!
yeah, Kaplan, you're a big fan of these Zoom events, aren't you?
I sure am.
What do you like so much about organizing and conducting them?
I think the biggest piece of these events that I love are an opportunity to educate our users on the system, whether if you've been using it for a long time or you're brand new to us. The takeaway is a lot of people always often learn at least one new thing about the system they didn't previously know. So that is huge for me. I love teaching you guys how to use the system to its fullest capability. And the other piece is that it's a face-to-face opportunity we get. We are all over the nation, and if all I get to see is your little happy face in a little box, that's enough for me. So makes me feel like we're all in one big room together and we're having a great time.
Exactly. Rock concert like atmosphere, I would describe it as. Yeah, if you haven't been to one, you really just have to register and see for yourself. No, I think that that's true. It definitely is. It's an investment of our users' time. We oftentimes do them on Wednesday afternoons around 2 o'clock. We know that there is probably something better that you might want to be doing for your company or your business at that time. But to Kaplan's point, almost everybody that has attended one has always said that they learned something at the end of it, and that's really the point, is getting that intensive training within 1 hour. Hopefully, it always feels like a worthy investment of your time. So with that, let's just talk about when the next event is. Kaplan, when are we going to be hosting the upcoming event?
Our next event is going to be February 12th at 2 o'clock Eastern Time.
So yes, we would love and what we encourage you to do if you're listening to this podcast, that means that you have found the link in our January email. That email is going to contain an opportunity or a link for you to register for this event. So go back up into the body of this email, find the link. There will be all sorts of details, but let's kind of preview what this event is going to be. Ryan, can you talk to us a little bit about what we're going to be talking through in this live event?
Yeah, I'd love to. So, selfishly, I'm excited that I get to address the audience there and talk a little bit more about the changelog and kind of reiterate some of this information that we've shared here. And look forward to having all of you who listened have a nice preview about that.
I think
We
to that point about the changelog, we will also be able to give an on-screen demonstration of how to subscribe to it so that you
Oh, sure
can
will.
rely on those emails. So as we said in the previous segment, more information forthcoming. That will be the opportunity for you to actually see it live in action conducted by Ryan. But go ahead.
No, absolutely. Additionally, we're going to have a special guest from our partners over at TripMate for a little talk about some upcoming opportunities for some continuing education about their product. Kathleen, I gotta know, as the queen of virtual events, what's exciting you about this Valentine's Day Eve event, as it were?
Yeah, thanks. As you all know, or I would hope that you'd know by now, that we just love you. And this is another opportunity for us to show our love to you, our appreciation, give you some additional education and topics about the system, and just an overall kind of check-in on our pulse of where people are at with using the system. And how about you, Eric?
Yeah, no, super stoked to lean into the Valentine's Day theme to an obnoxious degree. And as usual, great to see everybody. Great to talk about updates in the system. Just wanted to remind everybody, please check out the body of the email so that you can get more information because by the time that you have received the email, we will have all of those details ironed out. But we are super excited to host that event and to host the folks from TripMate to talk a little bit more about their incredible product. So, with that, was there anything else that you all wanted to mention to the listeners, the users of Group Collect products here at the end of our pilot episode?
No, I hope you enjoyed this. And for those of you podcasters out there, look forward and get excited about these continuing through the year.
Mm. I thought you were going to ask for constructive criticism from the podcasters out there, to which I don't know if I'm ready for that.
We're not ready for that. We're
Just
definitely not ready for
just
that.
keep that to yourself for a little while. Let us get a couple episodes under our belt. But Ryan, any final thoughts?
I have an extremely important final thought that I want to extract from each of you, which is some behind the scenes context for you all, dear listeners. Here is that earlier this week I traveled down from the very cold Boston, Massachusetts, to visit the Floridians here podcasting with me
Yeah.
down in our headquarters at St. Augustine, and we went to an establishment by the name of Mojo's
Oh,
Tacos, and
wow.
I've not been able to stop thinking about it since then. So I wanted to see if the two of you as would give some words to describe those tacos to our dear listeners.
I'll let you go first, Kaplan, because you know Mojo's. That's your hometown.
Yeah, so for any of you folks who travel to St. Augustine or want to travel to St. Augustine, you should and definitely put Mojo's Tacos on your list. I used to live across the street from them, and let's just say I spent way too much time and money on Mojo's Tacos. They are delicious. They have a wide variety. They are good for any of your dietary needs as
That's
well.
true. That's true. Yeah. Gotta hand it to him on that. Self-described taco aficionado here. I proclaimed them to a team member best fish tacos in America. Simple as that. And
You
they're
heard it
not a
here.
sponsor of this show yet.
Yeah.
Muchos, get
Mhm.
at us though, because we can talk shop.
Switching topics away from tacos is we also should probably do a plug for ABA, just so everyone knows we are going to be at ABA. Eric, do you want to add anything additional?
Oh man, I want to say that it is going to be worth your time to check out the Group Collect booth at ABA for so many reasons. And I am actually already having so much FOMO that I personally will not be there. Unfortunately, I had pre-existing travel plans from a long time ago. But Ryan, you're going to be there. So tell us about what you're stoked about with ABA.
I'm trying to think if I can do a spoiler-free teaser for what we have
It's
cooking there.
it's a fine line to toe, my friend, but do your
Fine
best.
line, but put it to you this way. I have the distinct honor, privilege, and pleasure of being on our booth setup crew for this conference, and let's just say I will be assembling a item, a set piece, whatever we want to call it here, that I guarantee will be the only one of these items in that big old conference hall. So
For
booth
real.
number 931, I'll be there. A lot of members of our team will be there. We would love, love, love to see you.
Yeah, thank you,
Perfect. Come
thank
by
you.
and ask us about Mojo's Tacos.
I will tell you all about Mojo's Tacos. Per Kathleen's recommendation, I got the arepas with tempeh. And just a shout out to St. Augustine. It was my first time down there and just underrated city. Highly recommend visiting.
Wicked cool town, right?
Wicked Pissa, we
Yeah.
might say up in my neck of the woods.
All right, and with that, again, so the booth number at 88, 931.
9:31.
931. Come check us out. If you are heading to the ABA Marketplace 2025 in Philadelphia. And I think that's going to take us across the finish line today, folks. So on behalf of my co-hosts, I want to say thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being a GroupCollect user, and a reminder to stay cool and collecting.
This has been a GroupCollect production.